Hi everyone, welcome back to Crafting with Slavie. I want to welcome you back to my channel. We are going to be making this adorable card featuring a creature with stirring from Fawn and the Magic Picture Changer and Oven add-on. These products, the Oven add-on and the creature with stirring, came out in the fall-winter 2020 Fawn release, and they are meant to coordinate together. They are just absolutely adorable. So let's get into it. So I started with, well, I cut out all my images first. I do that before as part of my card prep, but I wanted to show you how I assembled, stamped, and everything the Magic Picture Changers. So I am stamping this out on Bristol Smooth cardstock using the Tuxedo Black Memento ink, which is COPIC friendly. And I used my pencil to draw an outline of the box where the oven would be. And I went ahead and I used my ruler to measure out, I think it was 3/4 of an inch or 3/8 of an inch. 3/8 of an inch sounds right. Above the bottom of the line. You can go up above as far as you like. It's totally up to you. That was just mine, so that I could line it up properly when I put it in the MISTI, because the two dies don't cut exactly the same. Then I went ahead and I made a mask for my tray of cookies. I used full stick sticky notes, and I cut off the handle because it's not going to be seen anyways. You can kind of faintly see the line. So I cut out two. That's the nice thing about using full stick sticky notes, is once you do the stamping, you can pretty much cut out as many as you, well, not as many as you want, as many as you can without it shifting. And then I went in with an eraser and I erased all my pencil lines except for the corners, just so I knew how far I had to go. And I went in with, let's see, hickory smoke. And then for something completely different, I went in with stormy sky. Why? I don't know. It seemed like it was the appropriate thing to do. I actually really ended up liking the results, so I encourage you to play around with your distressings. Speaking of ink blending, I have discovered a new trick. It is called chapters, my friends. If you like to skip around and find the content you are looking for, check the description. I have put in links to where everything is taking place in my video. So if you like to jump around and just get to the relevant information that you're looking for, feel free to do so. While you're down there, please consider hitting the subscribe button if you haven't yet, and the notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos. And also hit the like button. I truly appreciate it when you like my videos. It also lets YouTube know that I'm doing something right, which is great. I hope I am. If I'm not, let me know that too. Okay, moving on. Back to the card. So we are ink blending our background. I wanted to keep this simple, so I used antique linen and tea-dye ink, which is a newfound combination for me. I just love it. I think it, you know, when you go in with the antique linen, you're like, I don't know. And then the tea-dye is like, yes, you do. Yes, you do. For the oven piece, I actually used pumice stone and frayed burlap. Another new combination for me. I really like how it turned out. Go figure. And for the other pieces of the oven, because we needed to bring in some festive cheer, I chose barn door and fired brick. You'll notice that I have started combining ink combinations like I do my Copic colors, so that I have a light and dark color. It is totally becoming my jam. I really like it. All right, this is the mistake on the card. So this piece comes with the oven add-on. It is supposed to go around the window, and I sheepishly forgot to cut this piece out. So through the magic of video editing, I have added it to where it should be, aka not after you've attached that previously colored piece. FYI. And again, we're using barn door and fired brick on this piece. From there, these are the pieces that go on the oven to complete kind of that oven look. So there's a drawer at the bottom and the top. I'm not really sure. Honest to God, there are things in this die set that I am not sure what they're supposed to be. I will point them out to you when we get to the assembly bit. I am going to do some serious scouring of the YouTube universe to figure out what to do with those pieces, because I think they're cute. I would love to use them, but I think I just need to figure out how. This is one of them. Like, look at that. It's so cute. Just a little cloth, a little dishcloth, hang it on your stove. Why not, right? Okay. Now, I think this is part of the Magic Picture Changer add-on. So full disclosure, for this particular card, I straight up used the Magic Picture Changer, the Magic Picture Changer add-on, and the Magic Picture Changer stove add-on. Try saying that 10 times fast. So this part is from just the add-on, which cuts that long rectangular piece, which you do need because that's basically your oven. You don't want the square one. Well, I guess you could use the square one. Let me think about that. I'm not sure. All right, so when the ink blending was done, we moved on to the coloring, and I started with the mice. So I'm gonna take a step back. You'll notice that I took the masks off of my components of the Magic Picture Changer so that I could COPIC color them as well. I also used R20 on the mouse bellies. The jury's still out on whether or not I like it for a completed card look. I might revisit it. You'll notice that a lot of my COPIC coloring is really like a trial and error process to see what looks good. And these last 4 cards that I made were actually super exciting for me because not only did I play around with new distress ink combinations, but I also tried new combinations of Copics to see what kind of colors they got me. And spoiler, some of the new videos that I'm going to be coming out with in the new year are going to include swatching and kind of playing around with colors that way. So that you guys kind of have an idea of what my process is to figure out what colors I'm using and how I combine things together. I'm a very visual person, so I feel like some of you might relate to that. All right, I'm going to take a step back, and I will be back when all of this marvelous coloring is done. Okay, so really quickly, the A Creature with Stirring comes with a little die that lets you cut a slit into the bowl. So that was what that was just before we started doing this bit. Next, I'm aligning the Magic Picture Changer pieces with the die, and I'm making sure that they're about the same distance from the bottom so that they look like they're kind of in the same place once we cut them out. From there, I am taking, I think that's, oh, that's Stormy Sky. Stormy Sky on the top of this, because when you pull that, you're going to be able to see it. And on a previous card, I did not like how that looked because it was weird. Anyways, so here we are assembling the card base. And then we go back to the picture changer. So you want to fold it in half like you saw me do there. Then you want to fold in these little tabs. And over on my right there, you'll see that I have some score tape. This is 1/8 inch score tape. I think it is the thinnest that you can get. It fits perfectly for these little tabs. I think that was designed on purpose. The reason why these tabs exist is because they are going to give you a little bit of space in there so that it can slide around. You want to attach the tape on the front and the back of this panel. I am using a bone folder. It does not have to be a Teflon bone folder. You can use this cheapo one from EK Tools like I do. I've had it for like 3 years. It's fabulous. And then I'm using my anti-static powder tool, which is kind of like baby powder or cornstarch I've seen people use. This is relatively inexpensive, also from EK Success. Highly recommend. And I am putting it all over this sucker so that it slides back and forth really nicely. Don't be shy. Go nuts. It really makes a difference. So once I've got that aligned, you kind of have to put the tabs in, and I'm going to link to the assembly video from Fawn directly in the top right hand corner here, so you can go see that in case I couldn't see or whatever the case was. Because this is really fast because it's a long video. So sorry. If I haven't mentioned, you can skip around and there's navigation down in the bottom. Check it out. So cool. Okay. So I am removing that tape, then I'm taping it down, and before I do anything else, I am going to take that pull tab attachment on the top and I'm going to attach it, because this is also your stopper. So if you don't do this, you run the risk of that top piece falling through the bottom and not being able to put it back together again once you've taped it closed. So highly recommend doing this kind of in tandem. From there, I'm attaching this guy. Now, 2 things. Notice that at the top there, it's got a little bit of a notch, and feel free to go back and rewind because I also attached the glue kind of funny. You attach the glue so that it goes from corner to corner and just a little bit at the top and bottom. Not a lot. Again, because you don't want to be gluing down the mechanism that makes this thing go. Okay, and that was my goof. You could see where I attached that outside. And if you are looking for how to put this together, on the back of the oven add-on, there is a picture of what the oven is supposed to look like after it's been completed. That's how I figured out that I goofed. this is not what it's supposed to look like. But adding that square piece after the fact, it looks fine. So I didn't bother die cutting this insert piece out again and then putting that over top. So whatever you choose to do. Okay, so these pieces go to the top and bottom. We've got the drawer on the bottom, and then here's me attaching that piece that I forgot about. And see, it looks fine. And that's the door, right? And this is why it's a big deal that it needs to be there, because you have this door handle that goes on there. And without it, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. Okay, so then we've got the drawer handle on the bottom. We've got our little knobs here. And I used my jewel picker tool to attach these. And of course my liquid glue, which I can't live without. And I just kind of tried to even them out. So the die cuts them out in threes. 3 is weird to me. I mean, there's usually 4 elements on a stove, maybe 5, right? So I'm just pretending that 2 of these have magical powers of something else. I don't know. It's a Christmas card. And then, of course, I inlaid the pull, which was kind of tedious. The inside of the P, I struggled with that. You might have giggled at me. Totally okay. All right, and then I am adding these little stovetop pieces. And I'm putting glue on the front and back, and when you saw me attach that top piece, I didn't go all the way to the top because I knew that these needed to be glued in. So I'm just kind of pushing it apart and sliding them in there, and the act of putting glue on the front and back is going to make sure that it's adhered really nicely. Because the stopper there is right up against the back, and I don't really want it to hang over the card, I am popping this up. So that way, when the recipient is wanting to move the mechanism, they are going to be able to get it to go up and down, despite the fact that it is hanging out on the card like it is. So just, that's a tip. All right, again, I'm lining it up so by standing it up so that I can get it as close to the edge as possible. And then before I started adhering, I did lay this out so I could see where all the mice were going. And I did this before I even started making the card to make sure that everything fit. That is a problem for me. I just can't help myself. I just want to add all the things and all the cute to these cards, and I just can't help myself. And that was the reason why I did such a plain background, because I just couldn't decide if and what pieces to exclude, so I chose not to exclude any of them and just figure it out and make it work. So whoever gets this card, I hope you appreciate my crazy, because yeah, it's there. Also, this stamp set is super cute. If you don't have it, it also has unbaked and baked bread. There's those little like squiggly heat lines. It's just so cute. Like, there's so many great things you could do with this stamp set that is outside of the purview of Christmas. I can't wait. Like, you could do a bun in the oven if somebody's got a baby coming. There's just so much. And even the mice don't have to be Christmas themed, which is really nice. So you can add them to your mice family collection, which is what I'm doing because, you know, can't help myself. And yeah. So I'm going to take a step back because this is a bit lengthy. Oh, but before I do, on the top right-hand corner there next to the bone folder, those little pieces, that's the pieces I can't figure out where they go on the oven. I'm pretty sure that it might be like a hook, or yeah, like a hook thing so that your spoons and stuff can hang off of it, but I don't know. Like I said, I have to do some digging. Okay, so enjoy the rest of this. I will be back in a jiffy. Okie dokie. So we are nearing the end of the video. I do want to mention that I used two types of foam squares here. I used the thin squares and the regular squares, which is a difference of 1 millimeter to 2 millimeters respectively. I've linked them below, but it's to the general listing. I honestly, maybe it's just my tired brain. I can't figure out which ones are which. So you can get them on Subscribe and Save. If you're an avid card maker, I'm sure you're going to go through them. I have no doubt. So maybe just kind of try and figure out which ones are which. I will do the same and hopefully update that listing. Again, thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit the like button. I really appreciate you coming by, and if you made it to the end, I applaud you, because this is a lengthy video, but I can't stop the cute. There's just so much of it, and it just keeps going. Look at this. Anyways, at the end of this video, I have also linked to the rest of my holiday cards. So check them out if you haven't yet. And there's also a video that YouTube recommends for you. Because, yeah, why not? Keep watching. Down the rabbit hole, friends. That's how it goes. So thank you so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day. And I will see you in the next video.